Villains are the best. Not just cool, but with an intense amount of charisma and a great fashion sense. I'm personally a big fan of the villains, considering I am one, apparently. After all, I rank Demon Slayer as only number 6 in a top 10 list, which makes me a villain. Apparently. Villains are the ones fans get invested in to see how the protagonist will overcome them. The protagonist in this case being Jeffrey, who is editing my videos while I'm gone because I told him to. There have been many great villains in anime and it's an endless discussion as to who truly belongs in the top 10. Obviously not everyone is going to agree with my list and that's fine, but in the end, it's my opinion, and if you have a problem, you can message me on Twitter or Instagram and then I'll go on not giving a single fuck what you think. My name is Marv and here are the 10 greatest anime villains, and no, Plankton is not on this list, sorry. And of course, spoilers ahead. Number 10, Frieza, Dragon Ball Z. The Dragon Ball series has a lot of noteworthy villains, but none can reach the level that Frieza has reached. Armed with legions of soldiers and a nearly unparalleled potential to become more powerful, this cruel alien emperor revels in proving his might. He crushes the strongest warriors of a planet for leisure and destroys civilians on a regular basis. It's not until he meets the Z warriors where his level of threat decreases, being killed time and time again. But given he continues to spread his terrible influence across galaxies while this happens, it's little wonder he remains the series' worst threat and an iconic anime villain. Number 9, Johanna Lieber from Monster. Don't let the good looking face fool you, villains can be handsome too. He may look like an ordinary man, but deep down he's a sicko. First off, his goal is to be the last one standing when the world ends, which is, you know, not normal. And that is his only reason to kill. He literally kills for that reason only. The way he manipulates others and even drives them to the point of killing themselves makes him a true monster. Do you get it? Because, you know, monster, that's the name of the show. Number 8, Seraphim from Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail is an anime that has a pretty split fanbase, some love it for its charismatic presentation of personalities and some hate it for its generic showing of plot armor. Regardless of how you feel, Seraphim is a force to be reckoned with. He would rank higher in this list if it wasn't for his backstory, which made fans feel pity and sadness for him, and his underwhelming performance in the final arc wasn't too much to praise for. However, it's said backstory that forced him to be evil in the first place. He was cursed as a child, and this curse took everything he loved away from him, literally. If he felt love towards anything, whatever he felt love towards would die. Because of this, he is forced to hate everyone. He forms a country called the Alvarez Empire and is named their emperor. He starts a war with Fairy Tail and eventually other guilds join in to aid the latter. The war led to many people dying, including Makarov, who would eventually come back to life, but he mercilessly killed someone he created and viewed him as a father figure. He was just cold. But bad storytelling is what prevented him from being anything greater. I guess Mashima is the real villain of Fairy Tail. Number 7, Sensui from Yu Yu Hakusho. Ah, the classic good guy gone bad storyline. Sensui wasn't always a villain. In fact, he used to be a hero, protecting humanity from hordes of demons. That all changed when he found out there are humans who are far worse than demons. Sensui snapped, killing everyone in attendance at a festival mainly created to kill and torture demons, and his mind manifesting several split personalities. He resurfaced years later with a plot to destroy the world he once loved. He's a paragon of some of humanity's greatest qualities, combined with an unwavering cause for justice, all of which make him a compelling antagonist and villain. Number 6, Griffith from Berserk. Don't let the angelic appearance fool you, this dude is a dick. First of all, he looks like this, which already makes you question your sexuality. Don't play innocent. He's got a long list of despicable acts in the series, such as mass murder and betrayal, but there's one scene that just overwhelms it all. Griffith is reborn as a demon at some point in the series and almost immediately afterwards rapes Casca, the lover of Guts who is the main protagonist of the show. While committing the heinous act, Griffith is staring directly into Guts' eyes the entire time. Now that is just pure villainy. Number 5, Pain from Naruto Shippuden. Like the Dragon Ball series, the Naruto series has many investable villains like Madara, Orochimaru, but none can compare to Pain. One reason for that is that he played a pivotal role in Naruto's story progression. His initial goal was to find eternal peace, so he did what anyone else would to achieve that. Hold all the power in the world in order to make sure no one raises a finger in fear of being wiped off the face of the earth. This guy was driven by his past, growing up in war, seeing his best friend die, all drove him to, dare I say, pain. And he killed Jiraiya, son of a... Number 4, Doflamingo from One Piece. Some villains you feel bad for because of their past, some you just hate because they are pure evil. Doflamingo is both. You thought Bowser was mean, he ain't got shit on Duffy. I'm not going to get into his past because it would just take me a while and I want to save Jeffrey some editing time. You see, I care. But let me be the first to tell you, it wasn't an easy past. His traumatic past led him to do, well, let me just list them. Murder, betrayal, manipulation, abuse, slavery, torture, even attempted genocide of the country he rules over. And on top of that, he just finds it hilarious. He is truly one cold bastard. Number 3. Light from Death Note. Similar to Pain, Light seeks to make the world a better place but does it in such an irrational way. The evolution of characters seen in Light is one of the best ever. A young man with a genius intellect, Light stumbles upon the Death Note at a young age and quickly realizes its power to kill anyone is no joke. Instead of getting rid of it though, he hatches a plan. He'll kill everyone he deems a criminal, becoming the ruler and the god of a new world he creates. Sure, it's a fine idea on paper, at least in terms of ridding the world of crime and suffering, but in execution, this ambition quickly corrupts him worse than he already was. In addition to criminals, Light also manipulates and kills almost everyone around him he deems a threat. Policemen, investigators, and even his own family fall victim to his plotting, all while he continues to advance his plans. The worst part is, even after he's brought down for his crimes, he gets his wish. Some in the world idolize him for his actions, making him a person to worship long after his death. Number 2. Meruem from Hunter x Hunter. And speaking of character development, none did it better than Meruem. The Chimera Ant arc is one of, if not the greatest arc in anime history, with compelling storylines that will make your toast buttery. A great story spawned a great villain in Meruem, who was an offspring of the Chimera Ant Queen and because of his insane power, was crowned the king. Off rip, he's a maniacal creature who is hesitant to wipe your head off. I mean, for f***'s sake, he beheaded a comrade who offered to clean his tail, only because he wasn't the one that was told to clean it. Meruem murders scores of men, women, and children in his bid for self-protection, amassing their collective den energy to the point of becoming arguably the most powerful entity in the world. But the consumption of humans comes at a cost. The more humans the Meruem and the Chimera Ants consume, the more the residual memories of the consumed humans begins to affect their personalities, coloring the single-minded inhuman perfection of the ants' personality with the strengths and assorted foibles of human nature. You see, Chimera Ants are creatures that used to be humans fed to the queen, hence the reason they start regaining their human conscience. The scope of Meruem's arc from villain into something else too profound, too emotionally dense, and thematically compelling to properly convey within the space of a single blurb. For this and many other reasons, Meruem deserves recognition as one of the most notable adversaries in the canon of anime. And number 1, Aizen from Bleach. Cunning, calculated, and always privy to a backup plan, Aizen is the epitome of a scheming mastermind. Upon faking his own death and framing another Soul Reaper for it, Aizen attempted to murder his own lieutenant whom he had worked at secretly manipulating to be dependent on him for many years. He is responsible for the death of countless souls and the kidnapping of Orihime Ino, a friend of Ichigo Kurosaki. In the end, it's only the entire cast of characters coming together against him that he's taken down. Even then, he's only detained with his powers too great to fully extinguish. This leaves him to sit in solitude for eternity, watching the Soul Society continue to march on and plotting his next great vie for power. While being on top, Aizen established himself as a true villain, and it will be hard to reach the full cold-heartedness he truly possessed. And that's my list. Didn't miss any out? Tell me in the comments below. Any support such as liking, sharing, subscribing is greatly appreciated. All my social media links are in the description below. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.